Hi all, this is Dr. Dave Massack talking to you about my peer proofreading and editing platform, reciprocity.com. Check it out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to help out, if you think this is a great idea. Could definitely appreciate your help in making this idea go. And I wanted to talk to you about today, or within this video, is about half-baked ideas and why it's really important to focus on having a half-baked idea rather than a fully baked idea. So there's this notion that inventors create something that's really cool and exciting, and they work and they sort of toil away in their garage for a long time to develop this sort of perfect tool or this perfect software system or this perfect I don't know, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, there's this notion that somebody should come up with a fully baked idea before they launch the particular idea. So from my own experience in terms of, or my own research, so once again, I am a research professor of entrepreneurship and innovation. What I've learned in what the academic literature has began to move towards as of in the last 10 years or so, there's a real push towards this idea of creating something that is half-baked, that is not quite perfect, and just getting that idea out there. So there's different there's different sort of academic literatures if you're interested in that. One of them is effectuation. That's really interesting, and this is where, and this is Sarasvathy from Dartmouth talks about this, or has developed this idea, particularly within entrepreneurship, where you start off with you don't necessarily know what you have in mind. You have a goal that you want to create something, and you kind of work towards it over time. It's kind of sort of murky in your mind, and you're working towards that. So the rational perspective within entrepreneurship or within decision making has really thought that there has been a sort of discussion or focus on what's called the means, or using or coming up with the having the ends in mind, and you know exactly what it is, and then you just develop all the different means to get there. So sort of thinking about the production of getting there. That is really difficult to do, because that presumes that individuals are fully rational, and they understand, not only fully rational, that they can sort of foresee the future, and they don't have limitations to their memory and things like that, but they can also understand what their users or what their customers expect. So it's very often the best thing that you can do, and the customers are going to have a much different perception, right? So the only thing that you could do as an inventor in terms of guiding your customers is present something and sort of nudge your customers or clients or whoever you're thinking about, or users, whatever language you want to use. The only thing you could do is sort of provide a nudge. So thinking in terms of the behavioral economics literature, they talk about these ideas of nudges, where you sort of get people to think in a certain way, or you get them to act in a certain way by just doing a slight modification. So that's the great thing with a half-baked idea, is that you can sort of provide a nudge for your users, customers, to think in another way, right? So especially if you have something that's novel, it's better to nudge people, to get them just to think, have a different sort of, what ends up happening is the customers have to change their mental models of reality. So what they have to do is you have to sort of get people to think from this area, right? And you have to get them to think over here. And the way that you do that is you present sort of a half-baked idea, and you get people to interact and think about how that they can improve that. And very often that's the way that a lot of inventions are done. So for example, there's some research coming out of Duke University. It's been around for a while. Ronnie Chatterjee, for example, looked into how medical innovations are created, and a lot of them are created by physicians. And this is kind of research that comes out of MIT by Eric von Hippel that was thinking about this as well, as sort of user innovation, where people were thinking about who is the most likely to create something that's new or novel or different, and it's generally the users, right? So those people that possess the users that are using something, they possess a lot of knowledge and they could sort of foresee things. And so what you want to do is get people to go from this mindset, so this mental model, to the next mental model. And the way you present is sort of a half-baked idea to get people to think in a different way. And then those people are actually going to build and start thinking about different suggestions and sort of build over time. So it's sort of a long-term perspective that over time that the users are going to help build. So essentially, you think about it, it's very much a democratization of innovation. This is Eric von Hippel's research or idea. It's very much this idea that there's a lot of democracy involved, where people are involved from multiple directions, and it's not just sort of this rational model, right? So entrepreneurs, they are infatuated with something, they could sort of develop it over time by just simply interacting and improving over time. And then from the innovation side, that people develop an innovation generally by having a half-baked idea, and they get out there and they just start interacting and see what people think about the particular technological innovation. So once again, if you like this YouTube video, if you learned anything, yeah, I don't know if you've learned anything or not, but if you have, please do subscribe. If you'd like to help out with building the pure proofreading and editing platform, I'm always open to suggestions. Again, this is sort of a long-term endeavor, so the suggestions might take a while to implement. If you do have really cool suggestions, they will be vetted, and we'll be listening to them. So again, thank you so much, and have a good day. Take care. Bye.